Welcome, everyone. It is the Cosmic Chix Podcast, episode 3. Woo woo! All right, so we are going to go ahead and dive right into the 5 clairs, and which is our gifts and our abilities. But before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Heather Lynn with Daily Heart Alchemy with Heart Alchemy Wellness, and we have.
And I'm Samantha Som, but I go by Sam, and I'm from Higher Self Healing Energy. And
Awesome.
we come together like peanut butter and jelly for our Cosmic Chix podcast.
Yes, super excited about that. So, did you want to go ahead and start us off with opening and cleansing the space, and so that we can get our intention set for the podcast, making sure the vibe is right, and
Absolutely
bringing all the abundance in? Thank you, Sam.
So we're gonna set our intentions for today's podcast. And with all you beautiful souls out there, we honor and we respect and that you're sharing sacred space with us tonight, because you could be anywhere out in the galaxy, but you chose to be with us.
Yes.
So thank you for that. Bell's a little weak, sorry guys, but it's mighty and powerful. I open this portal in this sacred space for the highest intention, for the highest good, for the highest realms to come down and send their love, protection, and highly powerful frequencies that bathe us with our intentions to channel wisdom and knowledge from the ethers, from our ancestors, from our star family, from our multi-dimensional and interdimensional planes. And we only call on high vibrational energies to channel with us. No confusion or trickster energies are allowed in our sacred circle, in our sacred podcasts. So be it is, so be it done.
What is? Yes. Beautiful, Samantha. Thank you so much. Okay, so I would like for you to go ahead and we're going to show a quick snippet about some of the events that you have upcoming this month and for the or for your higher self healing. So, do you have any shout outs or any special events that you want to say something about before we dive right in?
Yes, thank you, Heather. I would like to bring up this Sunday, November the 16th, at the Spiritual Healing at the Sanctuary of Spiritual Healing in Cincinnati, Ohio, 3308 Work Avenue, 45211. We're having a winter market, so come see us from 10 to 4, where we're having intentional and spiritual and metaphysical gifts and services to be offering. So give your first, treat yourself, give yourself a gift. It is the holiday season, and I like a very meaningful, intentional, personal gift. And what better way to get one than handmade craft gifts, herbs, journals, crystals, and so much more. On the 17th, Monday, every other Monday, I teach a Mystic Monday class at 6:30. Same location, the Sanctuary for Spiritual Healing.
Let's get down.
There we go. Sorry about that, Sam.
What was that yelling?
It was your commercial. It's fine. Just keep going, love. We're gonna.
Yes. So this Mystic Monday, come see me 6:30 every other Monday. at the Sanctuary of Spiritual Healing, 3308 Work Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45211. And then on November 30th, I am also teaching a class to work with the herb spirits, the plant medicine. That is a Sunday as well. And that is from 1 to 4. That is a $25 love donation or love exchange. So I'll do a guided meditation, guiding us, connecting us with Gaia and the plant, her sacred plant medicine. And then I'll be going over several plant medicines, how to divinely clear, cleanse, bless, and use them as for protection for our highest good. Thank you, Heather.
And hey, I have a commercial that's going to dive right into all that. And I apologize. I hit the wrong button and it was like, my spirit was like,
now we're all awake. And we appreciate everybody flowing through these new waters with us as we're learning. Also, very important to laugh at ourselves and own our mistakes and keep it moving.
Yes, so let's go ahead and get a big shout out and just see what Sam has coming with higher self healing.
Yes.
All right. Okay, there we go. Oh, and of course, after all that, we took off the wrong one, Sam.
No!
I got it. Hang on. Okay. It's fine. We're gonna do yours. Okay. Do I know, Emma? Hang on, I got it right here.
So much love and gratitude because my sister Heather, she's been organizing and putting her love and work and her beautiful energy of coordinating this StreamYard for us for this podcast. So special shout out to her. And we love while she's navigating these new waters too.
Well, and it's retrograde season, so it really wouldn't be that bad, but it's like everything that I was downloading. Anywho, yes, give me 1 second. I want to open up
shout the video. Out to retrograde.
All right.
In the Gatorade.
Yes. And what was funny is it was working just a second ago. So here we go. Boom. Should be adding it right now. There we go. Let's get down. Let's get down. Okay, cool. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. Let's get down. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and introduce what Heart Alchemy Wellness has coming up. So let's dive right in. This Saturday, I have my Master Reiki certification class. Very, very excited about that. Woo, woo, have my first master student. I'm very proud of that and super excited to continue with the momentum and the Reiki field here, trying to lift it up here in Dayton. And
you are lifting it up, girl.
Yes, we are. It's in action, and definitely I'm seeing my sprouts that I seeded earlier spring, and everything's starting to blossom now. So definitely the momentum shifting. Sunday, I am doing the cold plunge class, which is all about breath work and cold plunge. And also, I am having a holistic tincture medicine making class where we're going to be making some holistic medicine. And it is actually a 4-week series where we're going to be doing, again, like using different herbs and making different tinctures. We're going to be making one for cold, one for stress. We're going to be making one for our hair. We're going to be making one, what was it? Oh, well-being. So there was 4 different ones that we're gonna be curating, and that's gonna be on Sundays, at Heart Alchemy Wellness, which is 6 Kyson Street in Dayton, Ohio, 45426. $33 to kind of chime in, spend the day,
What a deal.
communicate. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, yes, and just really open to
it's that
meeting.
time. Me and you both have gotten those messages and downloads to start sharing our wisdom to work with plant medicine. It is extremely important to learn how to work with those sacred, beautiful, high intelligent,
Yes.
and we are so happy to be a channel to share our wisdom with the community. So definitely check Heather's tinctures classes out.
Thank you, Sam. And then, yeah, so that's going to be what we're doing the next. And then, of course, every Thursday I have Katana Yoga, and Mondays I have Reiki. So I'm trying to get consistent about something every day at the studio. But I'm also reminding myself just do what is working and what I'm being guided and called to do. So, and I was guided that this winter is going to be more about crafting and curating in my kitchen and learning how to say no a little bit more to some of the things that I'm doing so that I can kind of work on some of the new Heather ideas. But yeah, let me go ahead, and I do have a commercial as well. We'll go ahead and check that out. Oh, it's not. Hang on. Let's do it again. There we go. Sometimes retrograde.
Gotta laugh at it.
Hey, you know what? There's nothing we can do about it. I mean, we are at its mercy. We are at its mercy. But usually, if you allow it to run and get okay, yes, you know what? We got the gist. Very happy with that. And you know what?
So,
this show shall go on.
Heather,
All right.
how can they reach out to you?
Yes. Yes. So you can reach out to me on Facebook, TikTok, Heart Alchemy Wellness, on both TikTok, Facebook, Instagram as well, and also Biz Coach Heather on Instagram as another. So, and also 937-751-0031. If you are interested in any healing work in Dayton let's just say I do a lot. So pretty much if you have something going on, I probably either have a way to solve the problem, to help solve the problem, or someone that can help you if I can't. So, but yeah, cupping. I'm a psychic intuitive, so I'm doing DNA upgrades. I'm doing shadow work integration. I'm a life coach. I'm a life coach. I'm a spiritual life coach. I do quantum healing, hypnosis.
Yes.
Pretty much when I said I do it all, I pretty much.
Guys, check Heather out because it's becoming into the New Year's, and Heather's an astrologer, so you can give her your big 3, and she can give you your energies for 2026. I definitely like to get my chart read, especially beginning of the year, so I know what energies and what timeline and what month or days is perfectly aligned for me to manifest, or to not only to manifest, people what days I'm going to stay in the house today.
Like my day.
I'm going to stay in the house today because I already know what's going to, what the energies are like. So,
I know those kind of days because you know what's funny is I knew today was going to be that type of day. All
really,
like for the past 2 or 3 days, it was like, yeah, Wednesday's just going to be like a pissy day, and I'm like, okay, oh, I didn't know it was going to be one of those kind of days. Like it's literally having on my toes, but I've been grateful.
No, until you're in it, you're like, ooh. Like, ooh,
This feels
this is a little bit stronger than what I thought it was going to be.
right. And then you have to remind yourself, like, but what is the lesson? you know, or is it for your entertainment or is it for your growth? And it's like, well, maybe a little bit of both. Which is why we're going to be diving right into the gifts that each and every one of us carry, which is our clairs. So tonight we're going to be discussing the 5 clairs, which is going to be claircognizance, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairempathy, and clairsentient. And as just for me personally, I am learning more about all of my clairs and not more or less how to embody them versus allowing them to control my life, because I'll tell you what, if you're not aware of your clairs, sometimes like for me they were hidden, and it would create problems because I would know what was going on, but I would deny it. Like I didn't trust myself, which I'm clear empathy. So what was going on is I'm clear sentient and I'm also clear empathy. So what would happen is if I was on empathy overload, like it would so I had to learn how to be like, whoa, this is not mine. So Sam, what are your thoughts about just on the 5 clairs before we start diving into each one of them individually?
So here's what I feel, right? Because everybody's wired different. Definitely all are being called to tune into all these clairs because we are all being asked to use all of them. Now, you might be a person that comes on and might be having a stronger connection with one of the clairs. And also that could be like, say, your clair say it for me, Heather.
Claircognizance, and we're gonna talk about that.
Let's just say
done.
is really strong and you're really into tuning to that, and which that is just clear knowing, right? You're receiving information, you're receiving it, and you just know things, right? That's coming on first. So I will tell you from my experience, like my guides, they showed me and made me feel everything. Then they did it as layers. So it was like a chapter book. A chapter I can be familiar of what I and downloading and remembering how to use that gift that we already know how to use.
Right. So it's like I trust in those things in which I know are inspired by the divine.
Yes.
Like, and but you don't, it's that clear knowing.
But it's you recognize it. It's like what my guys are saying. It's like walking past somebody in a grocery store and like you know them, but you can't place them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that universal wisdom. Like, like, hey, we've read, like actually, so
I don't know how I know you. So
yes,
we are all able to tap into all these clairs. But they have to integrate, and do some come in stronger at one point of time, aligned
Yep.
time. Yes. You
Yep.
know, so everybody has the ability to tap into all their clairs. But
Yes.
I'll tell you what my guys are telling me right now, they're like, this is what they're showing me, is that they're food speeding like a baby.
Yes. Well, it's because so what they did with me is I started off with I would say well, obviously claircognizance because I knew that I knew when I didn't know how I knew. I think that's the very most universally one. Like you get that gut feeling and you're like, like you know something's gonna happen. You don't know how you know.
Yeah.
Um, but but mine was clear hearing because that was one way because I would see it, like I would channel it and I would see it, but then I was, then they turned on my hearing.
Mhm.
Um, which we'll get into that here shortly. But with the claircognizance though, they say that it involves your crown chakra.
Mhm.
And that it's basically like the crown is wide open because it's like you have that divine connection,
Mhm.
through the crown to the ethers to the divine.
Yes.
So, and that's where you're getting that universal wisdom from. Um, so what crystal do you recommend wearing
Oh man,
for
there's so many good and fantastic and high intelligent crystals that we can work with. But one that I have right next to me is a clear quartz.
Mhm. Oh, I thought I
Also,
had one next to me. No.
so I have a clear quartz.
Mhm.
The one that comes right away to me that I know works with the divine is, and I don't know if it's exactly a crystal, but it's more, it could be like a compound or agate, but it's still a mineral. Is desert rose.
Oh, yes, that white because it's I
Yeah,
always it's always like a little circle and
white.
white, little groovy. I love the desert. Actually, I
Yeah.
have one. Yeah, I think I have one. I'm right here, actually. See him? Let me see.
Okay.
I had a little. I might have moved it. I had a little guide with a bunch of crystals. I think I moved it, but it has a whole uh, array of what the crystal, what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Kind of reminds me of like a very small version of the resurrection flower, the resurrection flower, Jericho, right? It's
Hmm.
up like that, and it kind of looks like a rock, but it also looks like that Jericho, and it's closed and it's white. But that works with your higher mind, your higher consciousness, channeling from assisting and guiding you with the divine of getting those message clearly and effortlessly. So yeah, that's a great mineral crystal to use as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and if it's working with the crown, would because usually is it amethyst usually good for a crown as well?
Yeah,
Um,
amethyst for crystal too. And
okay.
your
Now, what's your advice on the hue or the density of the color? What and I know, but can you let us know
yeah.
what the difference is between the density and the color or the hue? Like the lighter or the darker the color, what does that mean in the amethyst?
Yeah. So I was always told by my mentor that the darker the amethyst, the richer and the better it is. Um, so I have a amethyst spear that I use for healing. I hope you guys can feel that beautiful healing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, and it's pretty dark, right? But I also have my grandmother, which is sentimental and very powerful to me. You see that those shades is a little bit lighter, it's more on the medium side.
Yes.
The important thing is for me, what my guys is to feel.
Right. Okay. And that's one thing you always told me, how do you feel? And that's what I tell everyone now. Like my students is like, how do you feel? What are you feeling?
Yeah. It's important to feel, right?
Yes. Yes. Because we are living the experience, and feeling and sensing is one of, being able to feel is how we tap into our gifts.
Absolutely. That is how you're being telepathic, is through feeling.
Yes.
You have to
Yes.
feel. And that's a language that we already know, but we're remembering, and we still are learning, because you could feel something and it comes through aggressive. That could
So,
have
yes.
energy from the other day, and you're reading it for now, and that person's not angry no more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta feel those energies. Okay, where did this anger come from? What timeline did this anger come from? Was this yesterday? You have to talk to that energy like Heather and I are talking to each other and talking to our audience right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and another thing that claircognizance is also is, think of the movie with Tom Cruise, where they had the three precogs. And they were, I think I want to say Vanilla Sky or something like that. It's an older Tom Cruise movie. Actually, hang on, let me look it up. And there were precogs, and what he was doing is they were using the precogs to future predict crimes. Oh, what was that movie? Tom Cruise. We'll come back to it, but he was in a movie where they would predict the precogs, were getting visions, all knowing visions. But what happened is one time the fractal was fragmented and time changed. So what it's also saying
is like he's viewing a different timeline.
Well, what it's showing is that they were trying to use precogs as a definite way, saying this is what's going to happen, not recognizing that energy can shift.
Yes, it can.
And even though there are three, it can still be a misalignment in time and space. And it was kind of like they were future predicting things that happen. But it was just showing you like how not everything can be.
Yes.
That's not perfect, dude. That it's not perfect. Like, yeah, it's maybe 97% accurate, but 3% of the time it's wrong, and there are severe consequences because of the type of.
It's just like he's projecting, right? He's projecting and feeling a high possibility, right?
Yes.
That's how I would, in my reading, a high possibility.
And they were using it as definitive.
That way.
Yes, that was the difference. They were using it as a definitive, this is what's going to happen, versus it being a possibility. You know what I mean? One possibility. So it's pretty, we'll look up that movie by the end. We'll look at it. Okay. Now, the next clair that we have is clairaudience, which is clear hearing, which is I hear beyond the frequency. I receive messages from others that they don't usually hear. And a lot of times, from what I've recognized, I don't, because when my clairaudience came online, I don't even think that they recognize that they have those thoughts because with the way that I've learned to read energies, I read it through dissonance, because that's how my gifts were awakened, you know, so I recognized dissonance. So it was some of the messages I was getting. I was like, is that me or is that them? Because I was shedding layers of my own, you know, things that weren't my own energy at that time. So, um,
And a lot of times, and I mean, the hearing for me, even, you know, somebody could be standing right next to me, and I can hear it is this, and this is the best way I can describe it. I hear the energy off them. I can
yeah,
hear the energy saying, like, it will describe what kind of character or personality that person has and what energy they're carrying. For example, I was at work today and a maintenance guy came in, and I heard off of him, you know, that he's kind of nitpicky, but he has, oh, this is what I was hearing.
hang on.
He is nitpicky, but he has open energies. And if he wasn't as nitpicky, he can open up those energies and receive his manifestations and blessings uh, easy for them to flow through if he can just get out his own way for being. I mean, that's clear.
Yeah,
That is clear hearing that I'm off of his energy field. That's giving me information from him. Or you can walk by somebody and you can hear them they might tell you, like, you walk by somebody and they say hi and they're smiling, but then I can hear that I'm really sad and depressed.
yes, yeah,
Because energy doesn't lie.
No, and you can hear it. So when it first started with me, um, well, like I said, like I can usually, like if I walk in a room, I know almost immediately who is not feeling it, you know, and I've had to actually learn now. One thing's when your gifts start coming online, and this is for anyone that's being introduced to their gifts like that. So with my Cancer rising, I would merge with the room and the environment, not realizing, and with my Pisces moon, I would absorb energy. So not only am I like wide open, I'm swimming in the water. So I had to learn how to put boundaries around that because I didn't even recognize I was intruding in other people's space.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, but I hear you. Why are you in my space? You know, like,
Yeah.
and not recognizing. And then I would get drained because all of a sudden I'm allowing my energy to be open. And then so you have to be really careful with some of your not careful. You have to learn how to work with them so that you don't go on overload. Now, did you go on overload a little bit when you first started working with them and started to use them? Like, because I know for me, like they said, in order to learn the skill, you kind of you had to be tested. So, and if those skills, it's like muscle memory.
Well, when you're talking, right, when you said, I just want to pause and back up a little bit, Heather.
Okay.
And like you would absorb the room. So like my gifts, right, I'm seeing like you are actually, when you're in those waters, your head is just above the water.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because yeah. And I have to be wrung out. Like I can't even do that. Like I have to be, because what used to happen is with me being, so I have the transmute. I have like, I'm just a transmuter. Like I can't help it. Like when things start going, when there's chaotic room, my body will start shaking, and it's alchemizing the energy. Like it'll start, and I didn't realize that, Sam. That's when you say you see me doing this, like my like I'm shifting and shaking you, like I need to ground. It is, but it's also my soul just automatically just alchemizing, and I have to be real careful because when you said that, I was like, ooh, because that's usually when I'm susceptible.
We are doing things that we're not aware of, right?
Mhm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so even us that are aware of our gifts, we're not aware of everything that we're doing, you know.
It's
We're multi-dimensional and we're not exactly looking at ourselves all the time.
yeah. Yeah. Once I realized what I was doing, I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, I got to be careful because when I do that, if I'm not careful, yes, I'm transmuting and alchemizing the energy in the room. But guess what? If I don't release it, then it gets stuck in my body. You know what I mean? Then it gets, if I'm not aware, which I've had to learn to be aware of
Yes.
when, because usually when I leave places, I learn how to cleanse my energy.
That's what my guys are saying. When you're doing that, that is your body also letting you know to release it.
Yes. Yes, because I feel everyone's tension. And that was a part of, like I don't like conflict. I don't really like that. But what happens is my
Everybody's
body,
tension in this room, but you had to learn spiritually how to release it.
yes, yes. And it's something that I signed up to do, but it has to do with the clear audience because it's what I'm being stimulated by what I'm hearing. Because I noticed if I shut those senses off, like if I would get upset, because I did have to regulate. Because when people would agitate me, I would have to be like, I'm not, because they were saying things with me being a sponge that wasn't true. And they
Yeah.
were really hurtful. And they're people that I love, and of course they can say some things. So it was like I couldn't hear some of those things because, well, I was a people pleaser. And, like when I stopped doing that, I could hear what they would say when I would stop doing it. And I would repeat it back to them, like, I hear what you're saying. And they would be like, no, you don't. And I'd be like, yes, I do. And I would repeat exactly what they would say. So,
The soul, the higher self, will show you the truth.
yes.
You know, a lot of people, even if a lot of times, even they had it for a thought, but they don't literally mean it. But
Mm-hmm.
your soul is like an Alexa. It's very black and white. It's
Yep.
not gonna hide around the bush. It's not gonna dummy, fluffy things. It's gonna
Yep.
do exactly how the energy, you
Yep.
mean it or not, in that context. So if you like Heather, she's a bee, right?
Mm-hmm.
How it's gonna come across is like Heather's a bee, right? But you don't know if they were saying that when they were laughing or when they're mad.
Yes. Well, and for me, I didn't want to upset people. So I had a rejection wound from a kid. So, I would automatically not say things in order to make peace. But what would happen is the things that I would keep to myself ultimately would still be the one thing that would come up and the elephant in the room that wouldn't be dealt with because I should have dealt with it way, a long time ago. Um, but a lot of it's because in order to keep peace, you can't, just because you can hear people's, you still have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that is correct. And you have to feel. So if I hear,
Open heart. Yes.
in the room and I heard Heather's a bee, right? I'm not going to think automatically in our human mind, we want to think it's negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, you have to feel that context of how that came through.
Yes.
And
Well,
then with
yeah, it's
other gifts online, I can see the situation. And oh, Heather was around a lot of good girlfriends. They were having a good time. And so said, Heather's a bee laughing.
right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's basically,
You have to fill it out and use discernment. It's very important.
yes. Yes. So it's like you're hearing behind the words. Is there the frequency and the tone that cannot be hidden behind the smile?
Yes.
You know, it's like, are things matching? Um, and you also have to be aware that sometimes the tone changes too. So you know, because energy is fluid. So, and that's, I think, what was going on with the precogs and that movie is they were trying to use it as so definitive where some of our gifts, we you know, let's be honest, we could like, when I first started, sometimes I would get about half of it right, half of it wrong. Like, you know, when we would test each other, or, you know, like I would ask a client, like, you know, but I'm like, I'm learning. And then as I got better, you know, when I second guessed myself was when I got the wisdom wrong, even though the first time I'd be like, ooh, it goes back to the, you know, clear knowing, like, I know this, but your ego gets in the way. It was like, but do you really? um, all right. Now, the clear audience involves your sixth chakra, which is the third eye, which it means that it's open and it's alert. Um, Wearing lapis lazuli to reduce external static while fine tuning your frequency may help you, especially as this gift is you're learning to embrace it, remember it, and then it comes, you know, being tested and then learning how to embody it as your own. You know, like, hey, this is something I recognize, I can work with, I could use it as a tool and as a resource. Is there any other stone, Sam, that would work with the third eye outside of just the lapis lazuli?
Amethyst for sure.
Right. Yes. That's a
Amethyst.
good call.
But I would share a spiritual hack that I teach my Mystic Monday students.
Okay.
When you are working with your third eye, you can actually rub it
Mm-hmm.
to reset it, to refocus it.
Yes. And you know, you could also do this beforehand to
Yeah.
calm down. So I don't know if you know that. So we're just going to share some wisdom, sharing wisdom here.
Yeah.
So basically, just have them do that 3 or 4 times. What that's doing is that's just letting their vagus nerve that it's safe and that's open, that it's safe to open. So
And then,
then, and then if they start rubbing and clearing the third eye, so it's like saying, "Hey,
so
it's safe to be open," and then you rub it, and you're rubbing and activating the pituitary glands.
well,
So you're
it is. I like that. That if you go, Heather's showing if you go up, right, you're relaxing it. But when my technique is when you're going in a clockwise and you're rubbing it,
mhm.
you're refocusing the third eye.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, what that's doing is that's saying that you're opening the gates for trust. Like it's just allowing that wisdom more. Let's say that you're kind of unsure of yourself and what you're seeing, and you kind of, let's say that you've seen something that you were unsure of, and you're like, "Oh, I'm razzled,"
Well, and if
right?
you're constantly working with your third eye, it's also a
Mhm.
reset and to refocus.
Yes.
Okay, so like I've been working with a lot of my third eye, and it's just like, whew. I need a little break. Reset. Okay, here's Heather's, but I'm learning with you guys the first time tonight.
Oh, I wrote.
Going up, right? Relaxing it. And then here's my technique of refocusing and giving
Well,
your
you do
third
both.
eye.
You do both. You do both because there's actually an acupressure point there, Sam. So there's a reason why it's to refocus it, but there's actually an acupressure point right there as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
So,
amazing. Your body guides you, and you're like, oh. it basically clears disruption.
there you go.
um, yes, but they just showed me that the other day that was one of the techniques to restabilize the third eye was doing that, and then the acupressure right there, what you were saying, and that was clockwise. You said.
I go clockwise.
Yes, that's what I thought. Okay. Because you're wanting to clear the energy. Would there ever be a time that you would go counterclockwise doing that? Or
That would be another topic.
okay. And I was going there, but we're gonna leave that for another topic.
Yeah.
Okay. So clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. So I perceive impressions through time and space. And I see with both my eyes and my mind, and I see form and formless. What would you like to say about? I'm learning that I'm clairvoyant, but I didn't realize I was clairvoyant. Like I have clear seeing,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't realize what sense it was coming from because now they're all working together. If that makes sense, like
Yeah.
once, like
Because remember, you don't know until you know what I mean? And so one day it's like, oh, this is how I'm getting this, right? Because I've had that my experience myself. So when my gifts really came on strong, it was through clairvoyance, from seeing.
that's what I thought. I figured with you. Mine was clairaudience, so
So I just was like, my guys showed me everything and made me hear and feel. I mean, they put all my clairs on, but it was clear seeing first with all that and above. And it is trusting what you are seeing. Sometimes you can, when I'm seeing, it could be just a shadow, right? But a
yes,
shadow doesn't mean it's bad. That's why you have to go back to the heart and feel.
which is
Sometimes that energy from the higher realms, because we are accessing all dimensions, if you believe it or not. We're accessing different timelines and dimension and getting informations, and also through the ethers. And sometimes your guides or the information that you're requesting to access comes in as a shadow, or even a spirit will come in as a shadow. It doesn't mean they're bad. Sometimes that's all they were able to manifest down here to us. That's why we gotta feel it. It's okay. I got this picture of a shadow. I did get one tonight. Actually, before talking to you, Heather, I was seeing energy that was coming to talk to me, and I had to tell him, like, hey, I don't have time to talk to you right now, okay? He needs to schedule an appointment with me too. But energetically, we communicate with spirits too, and it doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that that's all they could manifest themselves.
yeah.
To see clairvoyantly. Sometimes I just see a face, a leg, right? The
One
whole
other
half the body, right? And then as you're trusting it, you'll get more information. But you have to learn what you see at first will come very simple.
Yes. Yes.
It
And
will come,
yes.
it will come very simple, and I'm just using myself from my experience. It will come very simple, and as I trust that energy and make an alignment with that energy, then it comes in stronger.
Right. Once you
But
begin to trust it.
yes, once you trust it.
Yeah. And it takes some time because
Yeah, it does.
because I thought I was gone bonkers when when I was like, am I really seeing this?
Yeah.
Because so I guess the question is, um, so what the heck is it when you see in advance, like months and years in advance? Is that precog then? Or is
You're
that
seeing into the
clairsentient?
future.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's getting kind of like my
You're
guides are
when you're seeing a timeline
a
first that
potential.
has come into your physical reality,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
You
and usually they're tied to now Sam, the thing is though, is they've always been tied to cycles in my astrology. So then like I would wind up recognizing why later and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like I'm always shown in advance what's coming.
yeah,
Like
you are seeing a timeline that you're going to experience in the physical, as it's working itself way in. You got that vision, you got that message, and then when it's come, it's the exact same thing, right? So you're
yeah.
receiving information, what's coming in that is happening, that is on a timeline that you haven't got to yet.
Yeah, but would that be like a precog or would that be clairsentient, which is all the senses?
It I would say it's all.
Okay. Like if you're able, like for what you have, because you can travel the Akasha, because that's what we're doing,
Yeah.
is we're seeing the Akashic. Okay.
If you everything's around your belief system.
Yeah.
So for me, I believe that I can access information in any dimension, in any,
Oh, I know too.
you know what I mean? And yes, us humans have different labels that
Hmm.
we label that, but knowing that you have the ability to access that energy in any sacred space in any time at your will call.
Yes.
I don't question myself when I'm accessing information. I don't doubt myself. I trust the process.
And that's hard. And maybe we're going one of our podcasts, we're going to start talking about that because about some of the things that you'll experience because I thought I was going crazy. I asked them, I was like, I think I'm going crazy. She's like, it's normal, Heather. It's
And,
normal. I'm like, are you sure?
and
Like,
it does. And your vessel is important. And that's the other thing. You got to make sure that you are well grounded.
yes.
Because even at times, and once I start to feel like that, I know right away I need a ground.
Yeah. Well, I'm learning. Like, well, my guys have showed me like this year, they're like, oh, we're done with you not recognizing, like, because I knew
Because
because if I didn't, like, the thing is like the things that I would let slip by.
okay, so, Heather, I'm sorry, my guys are telling me if you our frequency has
Mhm.
to match the energy that we're pulling and receiving in our vessel.
Yes.
So this is how you know when people are struggling with schizophrenia. How you say it again, Heather?
Schizophrenia.
Thank you.
Schizophrenic.
And mental disorder is because their vibration, they're getting it, but their vibration is not matching to hold it, because that's why they're not feeling grounded.
So also that's why wearing tanzanite will help discern the messages that are presented to you. So when you're learning, like, and they also struggle with linearity. And it's because I'm one of, so I do a lot of research with like Carl Jung and stuff like that. A lot of it is they are psychic intuitives that have not gone through the individuation process, which means facing the shadows. And what happens is those fragments
Yeah.
become lost in space, and the only way to heal that is go in and collect the fragments. And
Yes.
it's so hard for them, but what can happen is usually, I've done a lot of research on this, usually what will happen is they'll have almost like a spontaneous healing because they're so fragmented, but it'll be just like once one thing hits, it's like boom, like it all clicks
Right.
back together. But it's so hard for them because the doctors don't even know what to do with it in our Western medicine. But really, if we go back and find the root, we just have to go find that root of the trauma and shine love and send that energy of love. And there's a lot more that goes into it, but it involves acceptance.
Talking right now, but I do feel the need right now. When you're putting your awareness and attention and to strengthen your natural birthright psychic gift, everybody's naturally on a soul level going to be at a different level of
Yes.
experience. Okay. And most important, intention. Your intention is everything. Second,
Yes.
grounding, right? So this is obsidian, and that anything like a black stone for grounding is so important.
Tourmaline, any type of tourmaline, sodalite,
Onyx,
or not sodalite.
volcano stone. Um, you is really
Anything black.
important that you have a black crystal, black mineral that the intention is to ground you, because that if you don't have that crystal, call on that energy. Still work energy. Call
And that's the thing. Can you, and what Samantha's talking about there is once we learn to embody or we work with these frequencies and these crystal energies, you learn to embody these energies. And then what happens is you'll have this frequency or these energies in your vessel and the cellular memory. So you're going to remember, and you can call on that energy in your mind's eye and utilize that in the now. So you don't always have to have them with you.
correct.
And that's why they remind you, why Samantha would remind you, how does it feel? How does it feel? What does it feel like?
And you're powerful. So if I call on black tourmaline, I know it's in my energy field. I know it's protecting me. I know it's observing negativity. I don't question it. It's doing its job. I called on it. I command it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Done. Over. It's there.
Yeah. Yep. I always have selenite or quartz always and my masculine hand for purifying actions and stuff like that, because a lot of what I'm working with is transmuting thoughts through actions and words. So and then I have Moldavite on my divine feminine, just in case people try to get too close to my heart. Not in bad ways, but I am learning how to throw fish back. And until I can get better at standing on my own, actually, I am better. Let me not say that. I'm learning to stand on my own 2 feet, trust myself, and trust my power. And that not everyone is for me, and that saying no is a superpower for me,
Yes.
because that's how I get to be lovable and get to give unconditionally to the people that I love and the people that I'm here to help. Because as an empath, if I'm absorbing everyone's stuff and not setting healthy boundaries because of my clairs, then that's not, I'm not doing my spiritual laundry, which is not good, because then your laundry stinks like any laundry. So,
um, yeah. So what's the next Claire, Heather?
clear empathy, which is clear feeling. So my body is a barometer in which I feel people, places, things, words, times, events. I am one with all, and I feel your emotions, pain, and suffering. Now, this is where Sam and I differ. So she's a Pisces sun, I'm a Pisces moon. Pisces sun, they don't have any issues absorbing people's stuff, right? They have a healthy ego in that sense. Now, the Pisces moon, on the other hand, does not, because what happens is we want to merge and fix. So we have to be real careful of how we're utilizing that energy. So for Sam, she's a clear channel. For me, I'm a clear channel, but I got to clean my laundry after I'm done, because I can get residue easier. So, and that's just because of my
And
cancer. So,
here's the thing. I'm no better than Heather and vice versa. Is
no.
that she's just aware of her energy blueprint and
Yeah.
how to work with her energy blueprint. She
Yeah. It took a lot.
understands how she process energy. So that's a beautiful thing, is learning how to process, learning how to work with your unique soul alignment and blueprints.
Yeah. A lot of it is as empaths. A part of why we're empaths is because there are two things. Usually there was a lot of stress, and usually there was chaos in the household as a kid. Period. End of story. You had to learn how to read the room. And that's where a lot of our gifts come from. And with me filling up and, wanting to absorb, I have to remind myself that I have to wring my own self out, wring all their stuff out, because if not, then it starts merging with, I start carrying on that weight, and I could become a martyr. Like I've noticed, like I don't do that anymore. Like I have to set very clear boundaries, because I told people, if it impacts my channeling, then it's not an alignment, because alignment is love. You feel it. It's a feeling. Um, and then it says it involves the heart chakra, which is why I involve the heart alchemy. And that is something that I was guided that I specialize with, just because of the focus on understanding the we all know how the chakra system works, but I do like yoga, and I do Ayurvedic nutrition, and I do teach about the chakra system, but the heart is the bridge. And we have a lot of people, including my own self, that are going through a heart transformation right now, going through this fourth chakra being expanded, which means that, all of us are transforming heartache from all time and space, whether we know it or not. That's what's going on collectively. And it's, this clear feeling.
And my guys are saying right now is for us to learn how to be more heart centered, because we have closed off our feelings to just naturally be in joy and love and be kind to each other. We
Yes.
closed that off, and we hardened.
Our azure.
We're programmed to harden, and that's why we're all being called and integrating, expanding our heart. Everybody's at a different level, and teaching to connect back to our heart and being very natural of just saying, "Hey, girl, I love you. Hey, have a great day." Like you'll start to know on your soul level, like different. And the more that you're showing that to people, the more it gets easier. And I love saying, happy Monday or have a magical day. And then I love to sit back and then maybe a month goes by, and then all of a sudden my coworkers starting to say what I said, what they usually didn't say nothing.
Yeah, because it's just creating that vibe and that energy and heart coherence, like we're all opening. And really, that's what's going on with this AI Atlas, in my opinion. These are just my opinions. But I think what's going on is the Mother Gaia is a sentient being, in my opinion. These are, and I believe that we're all going through an energetic upgrade, and this AI Atlas is clearing and alchemizing all of the root chakra energy, and it's enhancing our heart coherence and our throat coherence, which is why we're seeing all the greens and the blues lately. And let's be honest, we have to, since we're talking about clear empathy, we have to be very empathetic to our fellow brothers and sisters that are going through it, because we're all going through this high energy, high intense time. And being reactive is, not the time. It's just a time just to be like, okay, take a breath, step back, take a deep breath. And wearing rose quartz can help, transmute any type of heart heartaches.
And Heather, as you know, like rose quartz is also, everything's a balance. So rose quartz is also teaching you how to receive and give love.
Ooh, and that was my thing, is I was always giving. I've never really, so that was a part of my awakening process, was learning how to receive love, and whether it's from myself, and it had to do more with my own self-love. So mine didn't really have to do with much about, it was me learning to re-love yourself, like.
Yeah, absolutely. You come first. So
Yeah.
a great crystal to give yourself self-love. I have a piece of my rose quartz in my bathroom by my mirror. So when I'm looking, that energy from that rose quartz is working in that space. So when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, it's putting that balance of love to myself.
Yes, and I'm one with all. And that's what we need to remember, as like, just, allow your body to be the barometer, allow yourself to feel, recognize that you do have emotions, and, working with these crystals can help. And like with me, that's where I started work with crystals, breath work, and clearing out the chakra. And this is all about the Azra and the heart chakra, which is the higher heart. So
yes,
beautiful. Now the next one is clairsentient, which is all senses. So you have all sense and clear knowingness. My five senses speak to me through people, place, times, events. Like a person tries to lie to me, it comes through the pipeline through other ways that like it's like you can't, just don't try to lie to me because it's gonna like I don't know. And what's funny is my dad had the same energy, and I always was like, how did you know exactly what I did? Like I didn't even tell you. How did you know? Like my dad would literally know to the T what I was doing because he was clairsentient. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on being clairsentient about you have it, clairsentience? How do you which is basically having your solar plexus extremely sensitive, where you're utilizing it and you are embodying the sun, that solar energy.
And that has a lot, right, with association with your gut instincts.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly it.
Instincts. And I would like to say, like, that is your dad being completely telepathic to you because he's your father. So you share a lot of energy with him.
Yeah.
So that's how, like, us parents, right? We know when our kids are lying.
I was smelling my daughter's energy today through my hand, Sam. I'm like, hang on, let me smell her energy. I'm like, oh my gosh, Heather, are you really on your podcast sniffing your hands through the ether to smell your daughter's energy? And I'm like, oh, that's not and I knew exactly it wasn't. And then I caught the whiff and I'm like, no, that's not my scent. And I moved on. I'm like, wow, girl.
It is naturally the people that you are bonded with the most is the people that you are highly psychic with.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I will know if like I have that bond, and I do because it's that sacral connection, which would make sense, like mother and daughter, mother and son. It's that sacred connection through the belly button, through the solar plexus, through the solar plexus of the belly button.
If you're married or you're with your partner, you share those energies, you're very psychic with them as well.
I'm psychic with any of my partners because I have a defined sacral and defined solar plexus, and everything else is fluid and open on my human design. We'll talk about that later. We have to go over yours in order for you to be able to. You're like, huh?
Everybody is at a different level of their gifts on each clair.
Yes.
There might be clairs that you're just beginning stages and starting to recognize and feel and hear or sense those energies. There might be a clair that you're really strong at right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Attention, that's probably what the ones that your guides and your ancestors want you to focus on right now is the one that's really coming in strong until you feel and being guided to concentrate on a different clair.
And honestly, Sam, I have found that there are certain birthdays that have different clairs.
Okay.
You know, like they say that Taurus, and this is just taking everything with a grain of salt, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've read a lot of studies that say that like Taurus, for them to have like naturals, like Kevin's a Taurus. And actually, that's where I heard it from. Let me just be real, so I won't throw Kevin under the bus. Let's take it with a grain of salt.
Our brother Kevin.
But they did, but I have read it that they're like they're the least likely to have psychic gifts or psychic abilities. But Kevin's a Taurus, and so is my daughter, and I know that she has abilities. So,
well,
but he was like, it's passed along through the grandmother, which would be my line, though.
It goes down through the ancestry line, right?
Yeah.
You know, like it goes down through the bloodline too.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
passing the gifts, right? He's least likely, and our friend Kevin is very highly psychic person, spirit, and he's magnificent. It's through the like mine, down with my family line too.
Yeah, and mine's through my family line as well. It's through both. I think both sides, to be quite honest.
And my guys told me I'm the one that could be fluid and flow and not get caught up in stuck energies, where I'm able to tap into those energies and help my brothers and sisters and not get stuck on human topics and issues, where I can still do my spiritual job.
Yeah, and that's where I'm learning to not get hung up on everyone else's stuff so that I don't, and that's what I'm learning. That's where my boundaries are coming in, like in my process, because you have to have boundaries, because as you're, like we said, everyone's on different levels.
Yes.
And you're going to experience different things as these gifts come online.
Yes.
For example, well, hell, I don't even know which sense that was. Yeah, I'm going to just say my clairaudience. So when that came online, it was like I heard a shout from the back seat, like, patience. And I'm like, what?
Oh yeah.
And then as far as the claircognizance and stuff like that, that really has just been recent. Like I've known, but I was learning not to second guess it. So I believe that one, well, I've always known from the divine, that's not the one. I would say clairsentient. That was the one I meant, where you have all of your senses running together, because I've been trying to tap into how I feel, and like what senses am I really using as I'm channeling the energy. And my guys are like, Heather, you're using them all. And I'm like, oh, because I wanted them to
know how you really can make your clairs very strong is, like Heather's saying, not having any attachments, bogged down energy that you're not releasing. Yeah. And if you're not releasing, that's like a clogged sink, my guides are telling me. Oh, you're supposed to let that water flow through with a clogged sink.
Right.
Guides are telling me right
now.
You have to release and heal, and it can also go through areas that you are programmed, even from the past, from your ancestors, that you're being called to clear.
And don't even know it, and don't even recognize that you are carrying their weight and their burdens. And that's one other thing with the clairs, is as we're clearing the weight, we're recognizing that we have to be the ones that gives grace on our father's sins, because that's what we're seeing and alchemizing and transcending right now.
The more that you can able to tap into your energy fields, your chakras, and clear,
yes,
release and forgive, and come with a open heart, because I was told by my guides, my human guide this lifetime, that's helped me on many lifetimes, your wings can be clipped.
Yes.
Your wings can be clipped if you're definitely being a healer.
You know what? I knew that, and I think that's why you go through these layers of the onion, because I think those are the tests.
And as I'm being told now, it can also be like you're wanting to really have a strong clairvoyance. Let's say this is what my guys are telling me now, right? But the vibration ain't matching, right?
Mhm.
So you're not going to reach that.
Yeah, you have to clear. So it's all about our light body. So with me, it started with weight, and then it started with my spiritual. For Sam, it started with their spiritual. Now they're working on other facets on the opposite side.
They're
So
working on.
mine, they're working, yeah. Um, so it's like they did the opposite, but we were going through the same, it's,
We're both
so
working on the same end result, but different path.
there you go. But it's the same. It's definitely a similar alchemical process, though. Like it was, yeah. And it's funny. It's because you're the sun and I'm the moon, so it's like the polar opposite.
Yeah, north and south. I see that very, yeah. And
Oh,
also, you if you're having more of a you don't like, why can't I tap into some of my clairs? Remember, we have to clear out certain with our root chakra. So
mhm.
seek out a healer that can look and feel and get intuitive messages about what's going on in your chakra. You can reach out to Heather and I as well for insight on that. Because
That's
you
very
could have
firm.
a blockage that has not been cleared, or your chakra is not in balance, which does happen even on me and Heather.
Yes.
But um, we have a lot of wisdom. We have a lot of healing, different beautiful souls where we're able to know that information very quickly. Um, and this is not to give up. Like a baby has to crawl before it walks. You might be
Yes.
that has to crawl before
Yes.
it walks, or you might be the soul like me. Your gifts just came on, and you're like, "Whoa! I need to find somebody that knows what I'm going through because this is a lot."
Yeah, well, yeah, because you're getting clear, you were seeing like visions and all kinds of stuff all at the
Yeah.
same time. Like and I could and I had an experience like that in July, and I'm like, whoa, whoa. And it was like all time and space wisdom. And it took me a minute. Like I asked them, I was like, never have I asked them to slow down with the wisdom, but I was like, let me integrate because it was just so vast. Um,
I had that experience too. They were sending me a download, and I'm like, I know what you guys are doing. Can you slow it down? Because it was so many flashes. It was like,
yes,
like
yes.
asked them to slow down, and guess what? They didn't. So
Yeah, no, what they said. That's exactly what they said. They was like, you gotta learn how to integrate real time. And I'm like, oh,
I didn't,
okay.
I didn't hear them, but they didn't slow it down. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um, all right, Sam. So do you have anything else that you wanna talk about with the clear? Oh, it looks like there's another one. We got a couple other ones. We have sensing, clairordinance. You have clairgustance, which is clair alliance, which is clear tasting or smelling,
Absolutely.
perceiving spiritual scent and taste. Now, I'm going to be honest. This is a Scorpio energy. And I
Well,
know this because I've studied the gene keys, and they have the gene key, which is taste and smell.
that's interesting that you say that. So my aunt she's a Scorpio, and she
See, there we go.
can smell. That is her superpower on the physical
Yes.
plane.
Yes, it is. Yes.
But spiritually, this is something that I've developed. I get spiritual smells, and how you'll know is like if I'm doing my reading, I'll be
Yep.
not an actual smell. It's a knowing of a smell that they are sending you.
That was the smell I was smelling today when I was smelling my fingers through the like I was like it's the same thing. It's just like
Yeah,
and you're
it
just
is
making
a
that
real thing. If you ever had a reading with me or come to my Mystic Monday, they'll send me a smell and you'll see me right away. I'll be like, and that is a real thing. That is a
yes.
real clear spiritual gift.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Yep, that really is. And if a lot of Scorpios have it, if they have that certain gene key, I know it's a certain gene key, but
And my grandmother. My grandmother was a Scorpio, and she could smell. I'd be like, "What kind of supersonic nose you got?"
girl, they smell danger and everything. Like I'm telling you, like this, it like it doesn't matter what it is. Them noses are like they
I
remember.
have Scorpios in my family, and that's the truth.
Well, and that's where I meet people is on the Taurus Scorpio axis, and that's where ours is. I think. I
Oh,
think.
ours?
I think ours is on that axis.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's
Scorpios.
not a bad thing. It just that's how I meet people. That's how I attract them to me. Scorpio is death, transformation, and rebirth. Taurus is all about stability and community. So why would I not? Why would we not meet on those planes? you know.
What's the next Claire, Heather?
Actually, that's it. So we got clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, and clairgustus. Yep, which is the scent and smell. So that's all we have.
Um, uh, Amazing job, Heather. Amazing job. Just know that your journey, I just want to say out there, your journey is your journey, and have fun with it.
Yes.
Bring your clairs. No one's better than nobody. Okay, we all hold hands together as one spiritually, and Heather and I, as light workers, are just we were being activated as one of the first to be teachers, mentors, and to guide our other brothers and sisters to remember their unique soul blueprint and remember who they are, and more importantly, to open your heart space and love. And you have all the wisdom inside you. So if you just need more validation, guidance, support, please reach out to your community like Heather and I. And that's what I wanted to say to end this podcast. And gratitude to everybody.
Yes, gratitude, and one love, and
One love, peace, and
I
harmony.
think we out.
Until next time. So what? Until next time, probably. What's the date for the next time, Heather?
Boo, boo, boo.
Oh well, we're still aligning on that, right?
Yeah, I think it'll probably be the 27th. I think are we doing bi-weekly? Did we decide bi-weekly? It'll
Yeah,
be the 27th then.
yeah. And if you need to reach out to Heather and I'm Samantha Psalm on Facebook. Also on TikTok at 777 Aura Healer. And you can reach out to me. Please text me at 513-374-6929. And then Heather.
You can reach me on Facebook, on my personal, well, it's my professional personal, Heather L. Thomas profile, and then my Heart Alchemy Wellness profile, both on TikTok, Instagram, and you can call or text. If I don't answer, just leave a message, but 937-751-0031. And we are going to make some future announcements about some holiday specials that both of us are going to be offering for the holiday season. So next time we'll keep you informed on what those specials are so that you can actually get more bang for your buck during the holiday season and, stay less stressed while you're doing it. So,
and we thank you and we honor you for all those beautiful souls that are aligning with us tonight. This is not by accident. And we are just here to validate you and to have a sacred space, this portal, this podcast, to share our love and information. And it's important for people to be validated, to also like, hey, I'm feeling these energies that I need to expand my spirituality, right? And this podcast is a safe place for everybody to come together and share in a safe environment.
And that's what it's about, is about building a community that is safe and no judgments.
Yes.
And we are all recognized that we're all on different levels and we have grace, and we are, we all, each and every one of us, want to be loved, respected, and have a space held for us when we need to. And, do the same for our other fellow brothers and sisters when it's our turn, to return as we receive some, we always need to give and receive. So, I think,
be kind to yourself. Give yourself a hug. You guys did a great job tonight. Heather, you did a great job. Give yourself a hug. I'm gonna give
yes, and thank you, Samantha.
Yes.
And we're gonna keep it coming. And yes. So again, we're just going to recap the clairs real quick before we drive off, just so that we so we talked about the claircognizance, which is clear knowing, which is all about basically trust in the divine things, and know that we're all inspired by divine guidance. Absolutely. It's recognizing that we are all, one consciousness, all connected through Christ consciousness, through the eternal light, whatever that may be. The all-knowing.
It's important that when we say Christ consciousness, it has no ties to religion.
No, this is basically the eternal connection between your higher self and the eternal source.
And we were
all the disruption and the dissonance. So.
Love and we respect everybody, but it's also important that you guys know that when we say Christ consciousness is not a religion.
We will actually do a podcast on that because that is good. So Christ consciousness is actually, you have Christ Christo, which is activated. It's actually a serum that drips down through the pineal gland.
Absolutely.
That basically allows you to have euphoric, all-knowing visions, and you can utilize this creative energy once a month. And we'll talk about that, but that's the energy that we're talking about. It's a frequency.
Yes.
Resonance. And then you have the clairaudience, which is clear hearing, being able to, and we're all, honestly, they said that clairaudience is one of the ones that's highly being activated right now in clairvoyance. So which is clear seeing, clear empathy, which is you're able to feel what other people's feel. And then clairsentient is where you pretty much have them all. You feel and sense everything, which is where Samantha and I are at. We are multidimensional healers, and meaning that we have access through all time and space, and we can gain wisdom through any timeline, and we can go in and heal and work within, those energies. Which is kind of cool. But again, we are also asked as light leaders to watch and be mindful of the energies that we emit as well, because we are working with all these different frequencies and higher energies, and making sure that we're just being a channel and a vessel, and not trying to get in our social ego and be like, oh, well, I'm getting start putting judgments because
we just came in to light the path and help people remember the path, and
yes,
all hold hands together, and nobody's better than nobody.
yeah, and that's exactly what it's about, and that's what we're going to continue to help others wake this wisdom, because I also think that this is wisdom that people need to know. So the 17th, or actually not the 17th, it'll be the 27th of November is what we'll project. And thank you so much, Samantha, with higher self-healing. And you have a grand night. And we're going to go ahead and end the recording.
To all.
Blessings.
All right.